Close your eyes and picture a dinosaur's world. Scorching deserts, steaming jungles, volcanic wastelands baking under merciless suns. That's the image burned into our collective imagination. The prehistoric greenhouse we all think we know. But what if everything you believed about dinosaurs was incomplete? A half-truth hiding something extraordinary? What if some dinosaurs experienced something we rarely imagine? Darkness, cold, and snow falling on ancient forests. For months at a time, certain dinosaurs endured perpetual night where temperatures plunge below freezing. They survived where logic says reptiles should fail, thriving in conditions that would challenge modern mammals. This is the untold story of polar dinosaurs, the forgotten giants that rewrote the rules of survival. The Mesozoic Paradox. We live in an ice age right now, a fact that surprises most people. Ice caps crown both poles, glaciers carve through mountain ranges, and frozen tundra stretches across continents. But rewind the clock to the Mesozoic Era, and Earth becomes almost unrecognizable. Average global temperatures soared 6 to 12 degrees Celsius higher than today's climate baseline measurements. That temperature difference might sound modest, but averages conceal the truth of extreme variations. Some regions experience conditions far beyond those numbers, creating a planetary greenhouse unlike anything alive today. No ice caps existed anywhere on Earth, and none had existed for 30 million years. The planet's geography looked fundamentally different without frozen poles anchoring the continental arrangements we know. Antarctica possessed actual landmass at the South Pole, providing solid ground for life to colonize. The North Pole, however, remained entirely oceanic with no central land to support terrestrial ecosystems. During the early Triassic period, Pangaea's breakup began altering this arrangement with subtle changes. The supercontinent fragmented slowly, sending pieces drifting like rafts across the global ocean surface. Antarctica moved progressively southward while still connected to Australia, India, and other future continents. The Arctic spread outward around the North Pole's perimeter as various landmasses shifted positions. By the late Cretaceous period, India and Australia finally separated from Antarctica completely and permanently. Any dinosaur discovered in Australia or India after that split cannot technically be classified polar. Despite the overall warmth, polar conditions still presented unique challenges for any creature daring enough to venture there. Temperate forests extended as far north and south as land allowed before oceans blocked them. Summers brought relatively warm temperatures, while winters delivered snow and freezing conditions reliably each year. The climate would have felt familiar to modern Europeans or northern North Americans, surprisingly. Annual mean temperatures hovered around 6.3 degrees Celsius at the poles during dinosaur times. Summer months could reach pleasant 14-degree highs, while winter plunged to -10 degrees. But temperature alone wasn't the greatest challenge facing polar dinosaurs in their extreme environment. The darkness that tested life. The true test came from a phenomenon that persists at Earth's poles today. For 6 months every year, darkness consumed the polar regions in perpetual night. The other 6 months brought constant daylight with the sun never setting below horizons. This dramatic light cycle created conditions far harsher than mere temperature fluctuations ever could. Plants require sunlight for photosynthesis, the fundamental process that powers nearly all terrestrial life. Without access to their energy source for half the year, only the hardiest vegetation survived. Ferns and horsetails dominated the polar flora, tough plants capable of enduring months of darkness. But these species offered less nutritional value than the lush vegetation found in temperate zones. Less nutritious plants meant only the most resilient animals could survive year-round in these regions. Most dinosaurs likely migrated southward during winter, following the retreating warmth and vegetation they depended upon. But fossil evidence reveals something remarkable. some species possessed adaptations, suggesting they stayed through the darkness. These were the true polar dinosaurs, creatures built to defy the odds stacked against them. The southern survivors. Unfortunately, the Triassic period offers no known polar dinosaur fossils for paleontologists to study. The Jurassic provides only one formation from the South Pole containing dinosaur remains of significance. The Hansen Formation lies in what is now Ross Dependency, Antarctic territory claimed by New Zealand. Dating to the early Jurassic, this formation reveals life around 180 million years ago. Volcanic eruptions pose the greatest danger to dinosaurs here, not cold temperatures or seasonal darkness. Still, the region experienced those darker months that defined polar existence for any creature. Two named species emerge from these ancient sediments, Cryolophosaurus and Leaellynasaura, both remarkably adapted predators. Additional indeterminate specimens include sauropodomorphs, theropods, and various ornithischians waiting for proper classification and study. At this point in Earth's history, Antarctica remained firmly attached to Africa, South America, and Australia. Together, they formed Gondwana, the southern supercontinent that dominated half the planet's landmass. Many other Jurassic dinosaurs from those connected continents likely ventured this far south regularly. But the Cretaceous period provides our richest treasure trove of polar dinosaur fossils worldwide. Sticking with the South Pole initially, we can examine discoveries from Antarctica's James Ross Island. Antarctipulta, Morosaurus, and Imperabator roamed these ancient forests alongside numerous other species yet discovered. Australia's extensive Cretaceous dinosaur record also counts because it remained connected to Antarctica then. Even after separation, southern Australia stayed low enough in latitude to qualify as polar habitat. This expanded list includes Muttaburrasaurus, Minmi, Weewarrasaurus, Wintonodonton, and dozens of other remarkable species. Leaellynasaura stands out among these southern dinosaurs for adaptations that tell a compelling story. This small ornithopod possessed unusually large eye sockets relative to its skull size overall. Large orbits represent a common trait in animals specialized for low-light conditions and environments. When you're living through months of complete darkness, enhanced vision becomes a survival necessity. Walking with Dinosaurs famously depicted these little dinosaurs enduring the perpetual Antarctic night successfully. Theropods like Australovenator and various megaraptorids would have hunted these herbivores throughout the year. These predators hit the perfect size range to catch Leaellynasaura while not requiring excessive calories. The northern frontier. The North Pole presented different challenges due to its lack of central landmass. Like today, the Arctic remained oceanic at its heart with terrestrial zones around edges. Northern hemisphere continents poked through into the Arctic Circle, creating scattered polar habitats for life. Alaska's Prince Creek Formation provides our best window into northern polar dinosaur communities and ecosystems. This formation represents western Laramidia extending into the Arctic Circle during the late Cretaceous period. Many species found here also appear in more southern formations like the famous Hell Creek. Hard-hitting herbivores dominated these northern forests, including Aliscasophale, Pachyrhinosaurus, and the gigantic Edmontosaurus. Various indeterminate leptoceratopsids, thessaliosaurines, and lambeosaurines also left their bones in these ancient sediments. Theropod predators stalked these herbivore herds with deadly efficiency throughout the short summer seasons. Truden remains indicate intelligent pack-hunting predators prowling through the darkness with keen senses beyond sight. Dromaeosaur tracks suggest raptor-like hunters leaping and slashing at prey with their famous sickle claws. The tyrannosaurid Nanuqsaurus brought apex predation to the Arctic, though smaller than its famous relative. Like their southern counterparts, these dinosaurs faced months of darkness every single year without fail. Any species found here likely possessed adaptations, allowing them to endure these harsh conditions. But two critical questions haunt paleontologists studying these formations. How many species haven't we found? And more importantly, do they actually stay year-round or migrate seasonally like modern caribou? The size equation. The size distribution of polar dinosaurs offers tantalizing clues about their survival strategies through seasons. Herbivores tend toward the larger end of the size spectrum in these polar formations. Large body size allows animals to consume more calories and be less selective about food. These giants could strip bark, eat tough ferns, and generally make do with whatever remained. Carnivores, however, occupy a more restricted size range, what paleontologists call the Goldilocks zone. Truden remains found in Arctic formations exceed the size of most specimens discovered elsewhere worldwide. The Tyrannosaur Nanuqsaurus was substantial, but noticeably smaller than relatives living in temperate regions. This size distribution reveals something profound about polar predator ecology and energy requirements then. A Tyrannosaurus rex-sized predator requires an enormous diversity of prey to meet its caloric needs. The Arctic formations simply don't show that level of herbivore diversity to support such giants. Only certain herbivores were generalist enough to feed year-round this far north successfully. This restriction limited the size and diversity of carnivores that could survive here permanently. Yet the diversity present still suggests year-round residence rather than seasonal migration for these species. The carnivores hit a perfect balance, large enough to retain body heat efficiently, but small enough. They could survive on the herbivore populations that dispersed during favorable seasons and the stragglers remaining. During harsh months, these predators likely targeted the most vulnerable individuals in diminished herds. The warm-blooded revolution. For over a century, scientists debated whether dinosaurs were cold-blooded reptiles or warm-blooded like mammals. The discovery of polar dinosaurs fundamentally shifted this conversation toward a more nuanced understanding. Thermoregulation exists on a spectrum with numerous strategies between cold-blooded and warm-blooded extremes. Animals throughout Earth's history have evolved countless methods of maintaining stable internal body temperatures. We know dinosaurs lived in variable climates because we found their fossils there. Plant fossils and isotope analysis reveal the environmental conditions surrounding these ancient animals throughout seasons. Limb morphology demonstrates that dinosaurs possessed bodies capable of active, energetic lifestyles requiring sustained energy. Warm-blooded or endothermic animals need this activity level to justify their high metabolic costs. Bone histology provides microscopic evidence through growth patterns preserved in fossilized tissue for millions of years. Many dinosaur bones show growth patterns matching endothermic animals like modern birds rather than reptiles. The discovery that many dinosaurs possessed feathers revolutionized our understanding of their thermoregulation completely. Feathers serve as excellent insulation, and you don't insulate heat unless you're producing it internally. For the largest dinosaurs, simple physics reveals their thermoregulation strategy through basic mathematical calculations. Gigantothermy, or inertial homeothermy, occurs when sheer body size prevents heat from escaping rapidly. Any heat gained from the environment or produced through metabolism stays trapped in massive bodies. Spoiler alert, dinosaurs definitely achieved sizes where gigantothermy became the dominant thermoregulation strategy employed. But thermoregulation remained variable across different species, depending on size, environment, and evolutionary adaptations developed. Some dinosaurs in hotter climates may have allowed internal temperatures to fluctuate more dramatically. Conserving energy by relying partially on environmental heat makes sense when ambient temperatures stay consistently high. Adaptations for darkness. Beyond thermoregulation, polar dinosaurs required specific adaptations to survive those months of perpetual darkness. Leaellynasaura's enlarged eye sockets represent the most obvious adaptation for low-light hunting and foraging. But other adaptations likely existed in soft tissues that rarely fossilize for paleontologists to discover. Enhanced senses of smell and hearing would have proven invaluable during the dark winter months. Modern Arctic animals rely heavily on non-visual senses when navigating their environment in darkness. Polar dinosaurs almost certainly developed similar sensory enhancements through evolutionary pressure over millions of years. Trudent's relatively large brain suggests sophisticated sensory processing beyond what most dinosaurs possess typically. Social behavior probably increased during winter months as herding provided warmth and protection from predators. Herbivores huddling together could share body heat while remaining vigilant against hunting carnivores. Predators may have formed temporary packs to bring down larger prey more efficiently and safely. These behavioral adaptations left no fossil record, but logically follow from ecological pressures faced. Migration remained an option for some species, following vegetation south as winter approached annually. But the diversity found in polar formations suggests substantial year-round populations endured the darkness. These were the toughest dinosaurs, creatures adapted to conditions that would challenge even modern mammals. The polar dinosaurs remind us that life finds ways to persist in the most unlikely places imaginable. While their cousins basked in tropical heat, these pioneers carved out existence in Earth's harshest environments. They endured darkness that lasted months, cold that would freeze lesser creatures, and food scarcity. Yet they thrived for millions of years, adapting and evolving with each generation born. Their fossils lie frozen in stone, testament to resilience that transcends our comfortable assumptions about reptiles. Perhaps that's their greatest lesson. Life doesn't ask for easy circumstances, it simply adapts to whatever challenges.